Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're here. It's the Red Pill Blue Pill podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You get me? It's your favorite podcast, one of your favorite podcasts every week. We're here to talk about the four clubs, as you guys can see on the channel. Big up to every single one of you guys. And make sure you guys are liking, make sure you guys are subscribing, keep getting stuck in the chat, keep getting involved. And we'll get back to you in a second. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just going to go pick my size. And then after that, I'm going to choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back. So I'm just going to get it as it is. I'm going to click add to cart, view cart. And this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to checkout. You fill in all your information. And then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys. Big up, guys. Big up. Shout out to our sponsors. Go check out the stuff that they're doing. And yeah, I want to get this party started. So first of all, there's only one place to start, of course, today. And that's the Manchester City Arsenal game. So like I said, guys, likes up in the chat and keep getting stuck in. So talk to me, Martin, first, since you were the visiting team and you were up for 90 minutes. What did you make of that game?
I was very, very happy. Apart from the end, obviously. I thought the game plan worked to a T. Set the trap. We did in the 8th minute. Reinders goes through. Haaland, who apparently is not that good, but scores a hell of a lot of goals against Arsenal. Scoring a hell of a lot of goals, full stop at the moment. And then, I'll give Arsenal credit. They were very good attacking wise, controlled the tempo. We basically changed the tactics up this time. Little bit, it wasn't as we kind of did it a little bit against United. But we did defend. I'm not going to lie and say we didn't defend. We did. From the 60th minute, I thought Jeremy Doku was absolutely a monster. Big up JD. Get rid of your sweet chin music. JD was on fire at the weekend. Erling Haaland, best striker in the world. Proved it all the time. Listen, I'm gutted because if Gianni Reinders had a little bit more know-how, took the ball to the corner, maybe we'd come out with 3 points. And it's 3 wins out of 3 for the week that everyone was scared of. So, listen, I'm absolutely fine with it. Everyone went into this week fearing it, and we got 2 wins, and we nearly had 3. I can't complain.
Igal, this ain't your first rodeo, Habibi. You want me to say Igal? Speak.
We're the home team. We're supposed to get the job done. They came to our ground, showed us a hell of a lot of respect, and honestly, they almost got out of there with the 3 points. We got a late winner. Fair play to City. They changed up their tactics. I thought Donnarumma was really impressive with all the corners coming in, collecting the crosses, setting up everything, getting rid of all the dangerous balls. He was really an important piece to the puzzle for them on that day. Reinders and Haaland, quick, fast counter caught us out. Outside of that, I felt like we kept City quiet for the majority of the game, and it was on us to break them down. It was on us to create something, and I felt like they asked us a question which we struggled to answer until late in the game. And I really do put 90% of the analyzation of the game goes into the starting 11 for me. I feel like if you would have started with a more creative 11, you would have had more opportunities to score more goals in that first half, come and attack them more in the first half. But we went with the same midfield, which lacks the creativity, and then we put Trossard in the team, which doesn't make any sense to me. So overall, I felt like the game plan and the game approach from Arteta's side was wrong, and I think City kind of shocked us with the way that they played. And yeah, fair play to them. They got the draw. And from our end, the hysteria and the whole analysis after the game goes all to Arsenal's negatives, but 90% of the negatives is strictly from the lineup. The way that we played in that second half, we played well. The first half, we lacked the attacking options, and that just goes down to the manager not picking the right team to start the game. And he knows he made that mistake by changing two of them coming into the second half. One of them, of course, was due to an injury, and Nani Madueke is now out for 2 months. So that's another blow. But we should have the squad to deal with these injuries. Let's just right the wrongs of this game and try to move on. Because City now taking points off us, Liverpool taking points off us, and what should have been, in my opinion, at least a win now turns into another opportunity lost.
Javon, I want to ask you a question because, as you can see, there's 2 questions in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Is Arteta a coward or is Pep a coward? That's the question I want to ask.
Okay, so I'm going to say yes to Arteta, no to Pep. And let me explain it this way. Arsenal has the squad to compete in any competition they enter in this season. They have the squad to win any competition. As crazy as it may sound coming from a Chelsea fan, they have the squad to win or compete and win. But the issue is their manager. There's no reason this version of Manchester City should be coming to the Etihad and they set up how they set up. They put out the players they put out. You have more creative players like Eze, Dorman, and Nweri on the bench. It is unacceptable. If I was an Arsenal fan, that would be completely unacceptable because you're shooting yourself in the leg. Your own gaffer is limiting you from playing swashbuckling football, and you have the squad that can play different forms of football. You don't even. Let's say you go guns blazing, you get 2 goals, you still have the quality to then bring on a Mikel Merino, bring on other players to be more defensive. You have the defense to be more defensive if you want to shut up shop after a while, you know? On the other perspective, the reason why I said no to Pep, we have to consider the last 2 seasons that Manchester City has had. Yes, one of those seasons they won the league title, but they didn't win it convincingly. And last season, the defensive frailties has trickled into this season, so he had to set up a bit more defensive going into a game where Arsenal had the better quality or the better squad, for lack of a better term. So you kind of get it from Pep's perspective. I didn't have a great season defensively last season, and even with the signings being brought in this season, I'm still defensively susceptible. So let me set up how I set up. Plus, going away to the Etihad, not the Etihad, my bad. Going away to the Emirates, you always have to adjust your game plan. And again, this is not the City of years ago who just show up, had that fear factor, and everybody had to adjust to them. No, Pep has to adjust to certain grounds when he goes to them.
I look at that game, and this is what I want to say, and this is the thing. Big up to Mito. First of all, says Luxembourg has officially recognized a Palestinian state. Proud of my country. Big up to you, man, Mito. Appreciate you. Big up. The UK as well recognized Palestine. France, Italy, same thing as well. So you get me. Hopefully, inshallah, this is for a more peaceful time to come and an end to this genocide. Appreciate you, Mito, and thank you so much for the super chat. And big up to everyone locked in. Like I said, hit the like button, subscribe. Look, here's my thing, right, with this game. The reason why I think both were a little bit cowardly is the following. First of all, Pep went against all his morals and all his principles. And this is something that Pep himself has criticized in the media before. But it was working, and it worked. And the reason why people aren't cussing out Pep as much is because he does this once in a blue moon. No pun intended. He does this once in a blue moon. The guy came to Anfield once. Martin will tell you there was one time in his life he came to Anfield and parked the bus. Just one time. It's never happened other than that one time. So he does this like once every long time. So people don't really criticize him. And also Pep Guardiola has 7 league titles in 9 years. So it's okay if he wants to go defensive one time. Now here's the thing with Mikel Arteta. I saw Igal's reaction to the lineup and he was fuming. Because of the 3 in midfield. Igal can't sit here. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it as it is. We cannot change our energy. Igal can't sit here all summer long and say, Eze is an option for us in left wing and he's an option at 10. Oh my God, look at our depth. The first time you have a moment to use Eze in the 10, he drops him and he benches him. I'm sorry, like this just doesn't make sense to me. For me, I'm looking at that game. Zubimendi and Rice is a good enough double pivot to be able to make Eze play in the 10, and he will be completely fine. Like we're not gonna sit up here and lie about Zubimendi and Rice. Both of them very good players. That double pivot is very secure. The Zubimendi Rice double pivot is probably even more secure than a Gravenberg McAllister double pivot. Like just from security wise, it's very secure, very solid defensively. You've got the athleticism, you've got the defensive know-how, you got the passing of Zubimendi. All of these things put together, that's a very solid defensive partnership. And in front of and behind them, there are 4 center backs. So you could have afforded to start Eze in that game. And by the way, lo and behold, who created the goal for Martinelli? Eberechi Eze. Wow, who would have thought? You bring on creativity, you get more creative. The reason why, you know, this whole game has been a question of Arsenal mentality for me. I go back to the Martinelli goal. Martinelli spends about 5 minutes celebrating. Arteta's celebrating like crazy on the touchline. And then he brings on Mosquera. I promise you, I've went and I've watched previous examples. So my analysis or my predictions are based off of evidence. If this was at Anfield and there was 5 minutes of extra time left, Cody Gakpo scores a goal in the 92nd minute, and we've got 5 more minutes. I promise you, Cody Gakpo will go to the net, get the ball, run all the way back to halfway line, and let's go. Let's restart the game. That's how our mentality is. And this is what separates our mentality here on the top row versus Igal's team's mentality, which is we play to win, and Arteta plays to not lose. Now, here's the problem that Arsenal are in. Arsenal are 5 points behind Liverpool, who haven't played well. We're 5 points behind Liverpool within 5 games, right? Next week, you go to Newcastle away. Newcastle away, horrendous record over there. If you get a draw and we win the game, now you're looking at 7-8 points. You know, it's just so much already happening to the level where maybe even the players will give up and they will start to maybe focus better on the Champions League or blah, blah, blah. I look at this situation and I just go like, this Manchester City side, Martin already said it when he was speaking. Everyone came into the week worried. This Man City side lost to Brighton. This Man City side lost to Spurs. This Man City side is shaking. Like, they're not really like this, oh my God, beautiful football, lovely Manchester City. This is a Manchester City that is trembling compared to before. As Mikel Arteta, why don't you go like, let's release these players. Let's unleash these players on Manchester City. We could win this game just like we did last season, 5-1. We could have won this game by 2 or 3 goals. We could have slapped Manchester City. But instead, he went so reserved, so unnecessarily. And when someone as positive as Igal calls out the lineup, you know that it's not bullshit. It's not an agenda. Because Igal is very pro-Arteta. He's pro-Arsenal. He's very positive about things. He doesn't just criticize for the sake of it. And even he was fuming when he saw the lineup. And for good reason. Because you would expect against a Manchester City side that is not playing well, that's going through a tough time right now. I think Pep Guardiola, like, mentally is a little bit tired. Like, he's just tired of this shit for the last 10 years. He probably needs a break for a year or something. You never know. But, like, I think with all these things, you could have laid down the marker. You could have laid down the law. You could have played Manchester City and attacked them, but instead you have this defensive approach, and it just links back to everything we've said about Mikel and Arsene for the last 3 years, which is his approach to games, which is all this type of stuff. And Arsenal are 5 points behind. It's September 22nd, and they're 5 points behind Liverpool already, bro. Like, and by the way, Liverpool have played Newcastle away. Liverpool have played Arsenal. Liverpool have played Everton in the derby. We've got Crystal Palace away. We've got Chelsea away. So we've got tough games ourselves. If we get through this period, this beginning period of the season, and let's say we win like 7-8 and draw 1 or something, then you look at the Arsenal results and it's not going their way. Like, I don't know how they come back from this. I'll be honest with you.
We're not gonna hyperbolic everything and make everything into a situation where everything's over. It's not over. Also, when it comes to how we played, you're right. We do need to be a little bit more expensive. We do need to be a little bit more forward thinking with the lineup. But I'm not gonna sit here and just say, hey, everything is done. The manager clearly knows what he did wrong. He should take a lesson from these 2 games. And also, it's not like every opponent is going to be Man City and Liverpool. For God's sakes, you two are two of the best teams outside of the rest of the league. We're not going to be facing Man City and Liverpool on a regular occasion. The difficulty of opponent maybe is the reason why Arteta has played that way. I'm not necessarily concerned about us going to Nottingham Forest or.
Say that again.
What?
Say that again.
Say that again. Say what again?
Say us two of the best teams. What?
Yeah, you would you not say you're one of the better teams in the league?
Not according to you for the last 3 weeks.
Defensively, yeah, you were much better in that game because you actually defended. You didn't go.
Oh, come on, Igal.
You didn't
keep
play
the same energy you had for the last 3 weeks.
You didn't.
You had us fourth in the league. You had us fourth in the league 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you can't act now like suddenly City.
Come on, don't start acting like City are now this mentality monster again.
Yeah, City are not a good side, Igal.
All right, listen. Chelsea showed me that they're shit. So I'm not gonna have you above Chelsea anymore. I'm sorry. And then when it comes to
by the way, that's very fair. Chelsea have showed you that they're shit.
Chelsea
it's true.
have showed you they're not.
Chelsea have 8 points from 15. Did you not work with Chelsea fans all summer who told you we'll win the first 4 games? 12 points from 12, right?
They told me they're gonna be good until they're gonna be top of the league until they play Liverpool. So no offense.
So what you saying is you jumped too soon. You jumped too soon on 3 games.
No offense to Chelsea, you're just not on the same standard as Liverpool and Man City. Is that not fair?
No, that is fair. We'll come to Chelsea in a bit. That is fair, but that's not the point. The point is, Igal, coming into the game, you had no respect towards Manchester City. So don't act like they're a good side.
That's not true. There's a difference between no respect and saying, I think my team should win when we're at home. The reason why everyone is saying they're disappointed in Arsenal is because Man City got a draw in an away game where they were supposed to lose. The reason why people are so down on Arsenal is because we beat them 5-1 last year, and this game we didn't get the same amount of joy. And you want to know something? I'm not necessarily going to sit here and be like, hey, you're wrong with some of the takes that you're saying, but I do think I feel like it's a little bit more of a pylon than actual fair analysis of the game. The lineup was where the majority of the issues arose. From second half onwards, we just didn't create enough. City sat back, they defended. At the end of the day, we got a draw out of it. And if you want to sit here and say we celebrated, you know something, VAR would have had us waiting for a while anyways. Man City players would have had us waiting for a while anyways. You seen Zubamendi went and tried to get the ball. You have 2 City players attacking him in the goal. And on top of everything else, you're saying, oh, Liverpool, we wouldn't have celebrated. You celebrated a 2-2 draw at the Emirates last year. Don't act like you didn't do that.
At the Emirates?
Yeah.
If this was at the Etihad, celebrate by all means, 100%. If I was at the Etihad or at the Emirates and I scored an equalizer in the 90th minute, 100% I'm celebrating. But if this was at Anfield, I'm sorry, the players ain't celebrating.
All right, I disagree. I've seen Mo Salah take off his shirt for equalizer versus Crystal Palace. Don't do that.
What? When did this happen?
I've seen Mo Salah take off his shirt for equalizer versus Crystal Palace.
When did this happen?
I don't remember. Go check.
Bro, I don't even remember this happening. I know you're waffling right now.
No,
when Liverpool finished 5th, the year when we were really bad, like when we had like a really bad season, basically, when Firmino scored in the 87th minute, that was when Liverpool finished 5th. He literally grabbed the ball and ran back to halfway line. The chat are calling out on lying. I knew that this didn't happen.
No, that was a 3-0 victory still. Anyways, my point is not about Arsenal's mentality. It's not a mentality issue. It's a creativity issue. We did not create enough in this game. I think when we go back to the same old chestnut talking about every single time, talking about mentality, we're overdoing it. Man City's whole game plan worked well. And you also have to understand that you're facing an opponent and they had their tactics and their tactics worked well. Ours didn't. We ended up getting a draw out of a game where we should have probably lost. And you just give them credit where credit's due and we move on. We have to learn from this. This is a mistake that Arteta made from the beginning of the game. I don't think there's too much to analyze in this game. It was literally, we set up poor to start the game. Man City caught us on the break. We couldn't get anything from ourselves in the first half. Even though we were the more dominant team because they gave us the ball, we still couldn't do enough. We finally get a breakthrough at the end and we look back at ourselves and say, maybe we could have got more from this game if we would have started with the attacking prowess.
But the fact that you for me this is a recurring issue because you could have been more attacking at Anfield and you could have got a win at Anfield if you were more on the front foot or you made more attacking subs. So the reason why I said what I said is not because of this one game. But when I analyze football, I look at patterns of play, and I look at patterns over a period of time. I don't just come up and say, oh, this one bad game, this, that, and the third. That's why I'm saying, in all honesty, you guys should be winning things, but if you don't, I'm saying it's because of your manager. I think a better manager could get a lot more out of your team.
And I think that's a fair analysis based on how we've approached these games. I'm not gonna shy away. Arteta got it wrong, and people do get it wrong. But we're also facing small margins. We're facing two of the better teams in the league. Once again, Liverpool away, not a lot of teams are expecting a win there. The reason why people are on Arsenal so much is because we haven't gone on and proved it like Liverpool and City have over the last couple of years.
Not only that, but when you look at the squad and how you played the game and how, because the context behind it is you're the better team at Anfield. No one can argue that. You had a lot of possession at Emirates. These are your two direct rivals. When it comes on to the small margins, the same small margins we're talking about, you're in a pole position to take advantage of those small margins. And the fact is, you didn't. So when Husam comes here and says, hey, we won the game on a free kick, he's allowed to be shameless because he knows he was the second best team. But guess what? When the small margin came about, he took advantage of it. Same thing at City. City was taking advantage of whatever they got to, and I don't want to say luckily equalized, but you equalized in the last minute. Technically, you didn't take advantage of the small margin, which is City's not good right now. City's defensively susceptible. You guys should be blowing them out the park. You win 5-1 there last season, a minimum of 2-0 win is what's acceptable. So for me, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
I hear it.
I don't think we're being unfair with our analysis, Igal. I think the equation, and you agree with this, the equation is draw away from home and win at home. It's been the equation since the start of time in a title
You know something, Husam? Even if we draw away from home, we still get criticized. So there is a level of hysteria around Arsenal. You have to admit.
That's a lie.
We drew away from home against Man City in a title race, and we got
to be fair, Husam, he's right because of where they are. You see, because they've been finishing second 3 seasons in a row, now everything they do is going to be scrutinized. That is fair. Because what we're looking at from the outside looking in is this. When are you going to get it done? If this was your first season doing all of this, it wouldn't be as harsh as it is now. Because I've seen it with Chelsea in the past. We've almost got there until we actually got there. You guys are not getting there, and this is what, your 4th season now? And when we see some of these repeated mistakes, that's why people are saying, okay, Arsenal are not going to win anything because nothing has changed. Yes, you've gotten the striker. Yes, you've gotten more defenders. Yes, you've gotten the balance in the midfield somewhat right. But because the manager keeps making similar mistakes, that's why we feel like you're never going to get there. So that's why it's scrutinized more. That's why we make jokes about it. You get what we're saying?
I get it. And to me, the main issue is really just been the same issue the whole time. We talk about chance creation, we talk about finishing, we talk about not scoring enough goals. Defensively, we know what we're capable of doing. Our midfield, we can control games. Liverpool and City exposed our biggest flaw, and that is you say, you know what, we're gonna defend and let's see what you can do against us, because we're not gonna let you press us. We're not gonna let you counter us on and play your game, because that's our game. Our game is to frustrate you, counter you, and win the ball high up the pitch and score. And we do that to everybody, even teams that are inferior to us. We let them have the ball so we can take it off them and get higher up the pitch on a numerical disadvantage. But right now, City and Liverpool both times said, you know what, you play. Let's see if you have what it takes to beat us without us beating ourselves. Because we were expecting, we have been capitalizing on teams beating themselves for the last 2 years. And if I'm going to be fair, Arteta needs to find other solutions than just, trying out the same midfield over and over again. If it didn't work against, Atletico, it barely worked against Atletico Bilbao. You should have reevaluated that before the City game.
And that's the thing. The whole world can look at your squad and see that you have the solution. Is it? When we're even Dolman, Even Madueke, when he wants to skip past a few people and put the ball into the box.
He's injured now.
I know, but I'm saying, when you look at your squad, injuries or not, there are creative solutions there. Husam referenced it. You already have the midfield to set up that to be defensively solid, security-wise, to then have your attacking players just worry about attacking and creativity. The fact that you have it in your squad, the whole world can see that it's in your squad, but Arteta is somehow oblivious to it. That's why we are how we are. Not enough you Arsenal fans that are annoying, but yeah, that's how we are. When we're being fair, you can't dispute the logic. You just cannot. It's facts. So that's why we're saying.
Miguel, what do you make of the people that say Arteta was a coward in this game? Do you agree with this or you disagree? Because here's the thing, I'll tell you something. Farhan, as an example, like I'll come to the Superchats in a bit, but this is what he says. This guy in the chat, and he's probably been in your chat as well, is more of a positive Arsenal fan than a negative one. I've seen a lot of positive Arsenal fan as well come out and say basically that Arteta is a coward. That's what they're saying. How do you think it's a fair assessment, or do you think it's an unfair assessment?
I think he just got it wrong. We can't sit here and say he's a coward. I think he just got it wrong. I think he viewed the game as a game that you can bring on players if it's close and we can finish it off. Maybe he thought it was going to be a close game and he was going to add Saka and Martinelli and Eze into the game second half and we could finish it off. I don't think he's seen it up. I don't think he expected City to hit us on the break so easily. Defensively, we've been so solid that the goal that we conceded is not a kind of goal that we usually concede. We're really good on the counter and the transition. So I really do think he just thought keep the game close. Second half, we smash them once they get tired because they've played just 2 days before. Or 3 days before. That's probably what he thought. That because they played Thursday, maybe first half, like a prize fighter. You know what I mean? You know how in boxing sometimes you wait until the late rounds to take advantage of an opponent and try to get them out of the fight. That's probably what Arteta was expecting to do. He did not expect City to set up the way that they did, and he got it wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and say he's a coward. If he goes and plays the same midfield and then doesn't play Eze and Saka and these guys again, then I'm going to be like, yo, you're an idiot. You forget about coward. You're just stupid. At that point, it's incompetence. It's no longer coward.
And negligence.
Yeah. At that point, it's incompetence. Against Liverpool, I get why he was safe. Against, Bilbao, playing 2 Spanish players in Spain, kind of get it. But not playing Eze in this game was shocking to me. Playing Trossard, I did not understand it. Maybe he wanted more players in the middle. Trossard kind of knows the role. I don't know. But to me...
Sorry. Did you just say playing 2 Spanish players in Spain? I understand it.
Yeah, because Mikel Moreno and Zubamendi are Spanish, so he probably wanted to play them in the game because they kind of understand the league, the opponents a little bit better, maybe.
Okay. I mean, personally, I've got to say I think City had the best chances in the game, considering we were so defensively. We created the best chances in the whole game. Reinders could have made it 2-0 in the first half. Doku, Haaland had chance. If Haaland squares that to Foden, it's 2-0, game over.
I think your goalkeeper also made the best save of the game. I don't think you
it was the only save he made. Hang on, it was the only save he made. Let's not do this like Donnarumma.
He made 2 saves. He made 2 saves, to be fair. And the one with Madueke, I thought was the best moment of having to do something in your net.
I'll be honest, Gal. For all the ball you had, you weren't doing anything with it.
That's true. I'm not going to lie.
You were doing nothing with it at all. And do you know the way it looked? I'll be honest. And this is why I think Pep does learn. And I've said for weeks, and everyone laughed at me, and I said, Pep will learn, Pep will change. And everyone said Pep wouldn't. And Husam, you'll know exactly what I mean. I go back to the Liverpool game at the Etihad last season. Liverpool did exactly the same as what we did yesterday on Sunday.
Yeah.
They sat back, they took the pressure, they took the possession away. They went, you have the ball, Sitter. You're not going anywhere with it. And Liverpool did us through transition and then went 2-0 up and went, see you later, we'll sit back. And I think that was what the game plan was. I think the game plan was we were trying to get 2-0 up. Because if you look at the time, we were the ones being the dangerous. If Reinders scores that second goal, 2-0, I think it is game over. Because then you've really got to stretch the game out. And then you try and pick the pockets out. So, I was kind of disappointed in Arsenal. I'm not bothered about defensive and all this anymore. Football's the game. But, I was proud of the boys on Sunday. It was a lapse of concentration at the back. You got to remember, it's very hard for these players who've played one way for so long, and then you're asked to completely throw it out the window and go complete 180. And for 92, 93 minutes, they were doing it. Doku had nothing left in the tank. Haaland was a man monster up there. I'm a little bit disappointed in Sabinho when he came on. I wish Sabinho could have done what Doku was trying to do as an outlet. I would have loved a Mamu Cherky to come off the bench, but it is what it is. Injuries are injuries. I'm just proud, Nico Riley, for a kid who's not a left back, by the way. He's a centre mid. To come in and put that performance in. O'Reilly needs to be a left back for me. People forget the O'Reilly's a kid. He's out of our academy.
Mm-hmm.
It is, so I'm just super proud, and it gives me a lot of. You talked about City being Arsenal being 8 points behind. City, I don't think City will get worried about being 8 points behind 6 games in. City will feel they can turn that around. Not saying we're going to win the title or anything, but City know how to get 6, 7, 8 points back. I'm not sure Arteta does. This is what I mean about the mentality sometimes. Sometimes you've got to come back from 7, 8 points behind to understand the mentality of that. And like I said, I think Arsenal are a great team. My worry is your manager. And I said that on the first show, your manager worries me.
I don't think that has anything to do with the manager. Let's be honest. Half the fan base would give up already in that point.
No. Hold on.
That's just fan bases for sure.
We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. There's a hierarchy and there's a structure in a team. If anyone should have the mentality, it's the manager. If anyone should be leading the spearhead,
the manager has a better mentality than 90% of the fan base. I'll tell you that right now. When it comes to this thing that you're talking about, it's simply because you've been there and done it. It has nothing to do with.
Hang on a minute. So are you telling me Arteta cares what the fans think?
No, I'm talking about what you're speaking about is mentality, right? And I think the mentality comes from the fans and the players and the manager. And I don't think the fans are really. I don't think our fan base is as supportive as a Liverpool or Man City, because you guys know you've been there, you've been in these situations and overcome it. Until we overcome it, I don't think you can really. I think the mentality point is going to continue to be stuck at us, but it's not really based on one specific individual. It's a collective.
So Igal, let's have a conversation
on a longer period of time as well.
I think it's a collective.
Hold on.
I think the manager has more belief that we can overturn whatever the deficit is right now, more than some of the fans do. And I don't think the players or the manager have disbelief. I think the majority of disbelief that you see around Arsenal comes from the portion of the fan base that is quick to give up. And that's where I think you have mistaken with a belief from the players or the manager. The manager and the players didn't believe that they were going to lose ever until it was done last season. Like they kept going until it got to a point where it was insurmountable. I don't think you guys can say that about Arsenal's players or manager. You could say that maybe about some of the fans.
But we can Miguel, because we've got a history of it. We've got history of it.
You can assume that this is what you believe, but there's no evidence to say that the players.
Stop saying there's no evidence. There is evidence.
No, there's no evidence. There's no evidence that the player or the manager are the ones that drop their heads. It's the fan base that drops their heads and put in.
But here's the thing, Igal. Us as fans have, and I'm talking for every club here, we have influence to a certain extent. You know what influences the fans? The team. So I forgot his name. For him to be speaking like that, the team would have had to put him through. The team would have had to show him, hey, I can overcome this multiple times. Because the team does that, he can speak how he speaks. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So so my opinion on this, for your team, for your fans to change their tone, for your fans to not drop their head so fast, the team has to prove that they can do it for them to fully back it. Until it is done, you're going to be stuck in this cycle. I'm not saying your team doesn't have the mentality. You can have the mentality, but that mentality does get solidified once you've done it. Again, yes. Paper and actually doing something are two different things. How much times have we said what's on paper sounds good, but when it comes onto the pitch, it's crap? It's the same thing here. Your players have to pull through.
In my opinion, nothing has changed, and I have seen evidence of it, Igal. Seen it for 5 years. I don't say. But what has it? You've gone to Liverpool. You've done exactly what you've done for the past 3 years.
Get a draw.
You played Manchester City. You didn't get a draw. You got beat. You went to.
We got a draw the last 2 years. That's why I'm saying you're wrong.
Right, but did you go and play with? Did you go with the belief that you could win? Did you go with the belief you could win?
Sorry, against Liverpool.
Did you go with the belief you could win?
Yeah, but we didn't set up the way that.
That's where we'll agree to this. Against City, I don't think you had the belief you could win.
Excuse me?
So nothing's changed.
The reason why we're upset is because we believe we should have won because we beat you 5-1 last year.
No, Igal, you need to separate fans. Igal, you're talking fans. No. Separate fans from team.
The reason why I am disappointed and majority of people are disappointed is because they expected Arsenal to be the favorites in this game and to go out and win.
Fans did.
No, not even fans. Everyone.
You didn't set up to believe you could win. That's what people are saying.
And I agree with you on that. Why are we arguing something I agree with?
We're not. So I think you're putting too much emphasis on fans, and fans have very little input into anything.
110%. But 90% of the mentality stuff you guys speak about is around the fans. It's not about the players or the manager, in my opinion.
But we're not talking about fans. That's what we're saying. We're talking about Arteta's mentality, the players' mentality, not the fans' mentality.
Okay, so how can you tell Arteta's mentality is what you say it is?
Because he's not changed what he's done for 5 years.
He changed the line. He changed the setup every year. I don't know what you're talking about. We went from an attacking
not
team.
5 years, Martin. 2 years.
We went from an attacking team in 2023 to now what is more.
They were attacking in 22-23 when they were 8 points above you. They were attacking.
And
also, that's the year. That's the year that.
But Sam, that's my part about mentality. You're 8 points clear and you crumble. 8 points clear and you crumble. Is that not a mentality issue?
No, now you're just conflating everything under the same bracket.
Is that not a mentality issue? Mentality is mentality.
That's what I'm saying. This is what you guys do every time. Until Arsenal wins something, they have a mentality issue.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
No, but no, hold on. Yeah, it's not that black and white. It's not.
No,
that black
that's
and white.
what you guys do though. It's boring. Honestly, if you sat here and we actually analyzed the game, Arsenal were the better team. We couldn't create chances because City were good defensive.
You weren't the better team. That's why I disagree. You weren't the better team.
We messed up the lineup. We were the better team. You guys gave us the ball. Your game plan was to see if.
So because you had the ball, that makes you the better team.
Yeah, we have majority of the possession. We had majority of the chances. We were the ones that were supposed to break you down.
Crazy how Martin sounds like Igal and Igal sounds like Martin.
We were the ones.
So Manchester City should have won the league last season because we had the most possession in nearly every game.
No, Manchester City should have won the game, but guess what? We ended up getting something from it. Fair play.
That's fair. I don't deny that.
Based on how the first half went, we messed up in the first half. We shouldn't have played the way that we played. And I don't think there's much more analyzation than the lineup was wrong. We did not have enough creativity on the pitch. The best creative players were on the bench. That is on the manager. If you want to say that's a mentality issue, that's a selection issue. That's not a mentality issue.
So one last point before we continue. On the mentality thing, it's the reason why I believe it's a mentality thing is you've been in first place multiple times and you haven't brought it home. What do we question then if that's not the case? Because you've been points clear ahead of multiple teams in first place and you end up finish second. That is a mentality thing. I've seen you guys go to was it Anfield? And you guys rattled Anfield when you were 1-0 up and ended up losing the game. That's a mentality thing. I've seen you guys be clear, dominating big teams. My team. But still not bring it home. I've seen you guys dominate your title competitors. Still not bring it home. That's a mentality thing. I've seen you guys win the big games and go away to the small games and lose. That is a mentality thing. Yes, you may have injuries, but you're still clearly the better team. That is a mentality thing.
No, I feel like what we do is we analyze the game and we just take away everything and just say everything's a mental issue. Not everything's a mentality issue, bro.
No. Here's the thing. I don't think any of us took away the game. I think we've been very fair with our assessment because we all called out Eze not starting. That's not mentality.
That is 90%.
That's team selection. That's not mentality.
Yeah, but they're saying because of that selection, it's a mentality issue.
No, I'm talking.
No.
That's where I get down. Don't get twisted. I'm talking in general because it's not only this season. It's everything collided. Why haven't you won a league yet?
Okay, let's go through it. First time when we challenged, City were just a better team. They chased us down.
You were 8 points clear.
They chased us down. They beat us. They were the better team. They had a better squad.
Stick a pin right there. But that's a mentality thing.
They have a better team. No, simply put, they were better than us.
No, that's a mentality.
No.
You can have a better team. You can have a better team. You can have a better team and not win the league. City.
Who did you get beat at home? Who did you get beat? Who did you get beat at home by? In the last 5 games? Who got beat? Who beat you at home?
Bro, we're talking about 2023, 2022 first.
Okay.
My point is you can have a better team and not win the league when you make certain mistakes.
Hey,
you were 8. The fact of the matter is you were 8 points clear and City chased you down. Someone can chase you down and not catch you. You know that, right?
Right.
Am I lying for the rest of the panelists here? Someone can chase you down and not catch you.
Yeah.
My point to you
and your team folded during that season, but we give you that season. What happened the second season?
Bro,
it repeated itself.
1 second. We didn't even get past the first one. First one, Manchester City were still the better team than us. We weren't prepared for that kind of situation. We just went from being 5th to getting into a title race. A bunch of our players got injured. We didn't have the squad depth. Now, if you want to say that's excuses, whatever you want to say, that was excuses or not, that's what happened. Second time, guess what? It was a 3-horse race. Liverpool, Arsenal, City were all in it. Liverpool got a massive injury crisis. Arsenal, we just went all the way to the end, and we couldn't get over the hurdle. City got ahead of us. They never dropped a point. We were literally going toe to toe every single game until the final day of the season. They didn't drop a point. And then last year, everyone knows what happened last year. There's no need to reiterate it. Liverpool won the league by a canter. It wasn't even a race. As for now, I've said it and I'll say it again. And I think Joe Hart on the radio said it perfectly. I was listening to him, and what he said is a perfect example. Until we win, it doesn't matter what we do. You guys are going to continuously go back to mentality and inability to get over the hurdle.
Joe Hart talks about your mentality.
Yeah, that's what Igal's referencing.
That's what I'm saying. Until we win, you guys will continue. Every single time Arsenal drop points, it will go back to mentality.
No, I agree, Gal. I agree. They will. They will, because the limit says is, and you won't like this, the way you're talking, I can only speak for you, and it's your opinion and your viewpoint. I fully appreciate that. The way you're talking, you sound like if it doesn't happen this year, you're going to throw another excuse into the Arteta box for next season.
What are you talking about?
I can already hear it in your voice that you've got it ready to go. Well, this year he had this, that, and the other. And for the last 5 years, there's been some, not just from you, from everyone, an excuse, a reason. There's something there to why Arteta gets protected.
Okay, and this is why I believe you guys.
And you've said yourself, best squad in the league, most deepest, spent the most money. You're out of excuses now.
What are you really going to say? Because Arteta lost to Liverpool at home, and Man City drew against Man City second. 5th game of the season. We should already be talking about sacking him and bringing somebody else in.
If that was at the Etihad, I would have been upset.
And you want to know something? We drew at the Etihad last year, and what did you guys say to us? You guys are celebrating because you drew. You drew against us with
No,
10 men.
no. We were celebrating the
You
goal.
drew
We weren't
against us.
celebrating the
You
draw. None
you
of our
drew-
players were doing. We were
It's no
celebrating the
different.
draw.
It's no different. It's no different. You drew against 10 men. It's no different. It's the same
Your players were
situation.
doing
No.
backflips. Like
Your
Sam said,
players-
instead of going
your
getting the
players are
ball,
flopping
go and get the
around.
ball and put it in the net.
Bro,
Go and get the
Erling
ball and
Haaland
take it
got
back
the
to the
ball.
spot.
Erling Haaland got the ball and threw it at the back of one of my players' head. He clearly didn't care about.
Oh
going
my
back.
God, you're not giving that up, are you?
That was funny.
No,
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
We're asking about consistency. I'm sitting here analyzing the game. You guys are sitting here doing psychoanalysis over my players and manager, which I don't agree with.
But we already analyzed
Okay,
the
listen,
game.
we're gonna have to agree to disagree because we got Javon for limited time. Big up all the super chatter guys; they're all saved. I promise you, we're gonna read them all in a bit. But Javon has to leave us in 20 minutes, so we do have to speak about Chelsea now. Big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Guys, the algorithms are messing up people's channels. Like I said, they're trying a new algorithm on YouTube, so I need you guys' help. We can't have 850 people in here.
The video.
Exactly. We have 800 people in here. We're not even at 200 video yet, so 200 likes yet. So every single one of you, please close the live chat and hit the like button and continue to enjoy the stream. All the super chats are started, so don't worry, they won't disappear or anything. We'll read them in a bit. Javon, hello, my brother. Nice to meet you, Akhi. Another week, another loss. You get me? Man United away this time. By the way, it's Jem is hiding, just so you guys know. Jem is hiding. He's a fraud. Anyway, Javon, talk to me, my brother. What happened in the United game?
So I'm new to the panel, and well, you guys wouldn't know, but my personal biggest rivals are Manchester United. I hate them with every fiber of my being. So seeing how we perform when we were performing is absolutely horrendous, atrocious, and it's unacceptable on all levels coming from me, right? And I love this club with every fiber of my being. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm gonna keep it a buck, however you want to determine. Maresca lost his head and Maresca panicked, because you can go to we went to Old Trafford. Granted, this is a ground we haven't won on since 2013. So we are looking to, given that this is the worst Manchester United since World War II, we're going into the game looking to pick up a win, right? We got there. Manchester United are playing well. Any team at their homegrown, we're always going to start strong. Plus, it's raining. Plus, they call it the theater regime, so they were at it from the start, right? I say raining because it's going to come in I'm going to bring it into my analysis later, in what I'm talking about, and it's going to make sense. I don't waffle, all right?
Yeah.
No. With that being said, when Robert Sanchez got the red card, that's when everything went to the depths of hell, because Maresca panicked and tried to shut shop when it was 0-0 in the 5th minute. Now, we've seen, if you watch any amount of football, we've seen where teams can go down to 10 minutes, still win the game, or at minimum compete in the game and draw the game. This man decided to pull off Esteval, which is fine. New player, young player. We've seen this since the dawn of time. Managers tend to protect a young player and bring on a goalkeeper. But then that's where within the space of another 5 minutes, everything got just confusing and didn't make sense. Like he took off Neto, which would have been our out ball, and Palmer apparently had an injury coming into this game, and he pulled him off. Now, with that being said, it was completely horrendous how we played and the substitutions, because the substitutions negated how we play. What do I mean by that? We had no out ball. Only Joe Pridger was there to hold up the play. At times, again, it was 10v11. At times, Caicedo and Joe Pridger was still winning the ball back. The defenders were still winning the ball back. When we were looking to go on a counter, there's no counter because we have no out ball. Because when you have the out ball, your players and your defenders and your midfielders have to run more, which is going to affect you negatively in the long run. Now, with Maresca panicking and making those subs, the worst thing you can do is commit to a system change and a subs change and a player personnel change this early in the match, because lo and behold, at the end of the first half, we're level. It's 10v10 and we're 2-0 down. Right? But guess what? We cannot take advantage of us being level again because we have no outbar. We have no attacking outlet. So it was just completely horrendous for Maresca. And from a personal standpoint, I have question marks over Maresca. I've said this on all the platforms I've been on. I lost faith in Maresca, right? Because that was just completely horrendous. On top of it, we had the entire second half, nothing changed. And you know what pissed me off the most? You have 2 subs, right? You could bring on Garnacho, you could bring on Gittins, you could bring on Mark Yu. This man brought on Tyreek George and Malo Gusto, a defender and someone that we were supposed to sell. He didn't bring off Enzo Fernandez, who's horrendous, who was horrific. And on top of that, the player you did bring on, who should have started for me into that Enzo Fernandez, which is Andre Santos, had a better performance in less time on the pitch than Enzo Fernandez. So yeah, that was a diabolical performance. And for this entire week, I'm going to have to hold it. I'm just going to have to hold it. When I said that it was raining, this is my analysis, right? If you actually paid attention to the game, tackles were flying. The game was a bit more physical. So yellow cards were given out. My point, if as reason why I said it was raining, is when we were down 10, when it was 10v10, you want to put on someone with pace to take advantage of that United defense, because United does not have pace in that defense. So you put on someone like Gittins to exploit his pace in behind. Someone's gonna put out a rash tackle. The ball, the field was waterlogged that time. The ball was not bouncing and sticking as I was supposed to. So you could have gotten away with a foul. You could have gotten away with a penalty. I'm saying this not as an excuse, but you could have used the weather to your advantage based on how the game was going. The game was very physical. A lot of tackles that wouldn't have been deemed a foul in the past was being deemed a foul because of the weather. So you have to take these things into consideration when you're making your subs. He did. So all of those things put a question mark over Maresca for me.
I think the main thing is Cole Palmer getting injured screwed him over. And I think he did not, if he knew Cole Palmer was going to come off.
He did know. So I'm telling you, from a Chelsea fan coming out after the fact, he knew that Cole Palmer had a serious knock going into that game. So he shouldn't have started. And even with the red card, he should have pulled Palmer. So that's why I'm saying there's no excuses over this performance.
So he risked a lot playing him. I think,
sir.
And not taking him off when he had an opportunity to take him off before taking off the other 2 wingers, he messed up there. But overall, let's be honest, you guys, even with 10 men, Manchester United struggled to break you down. What happened eventually was your second. Now I understand why this guy doesn't start over Sanchez. His movement wasn't that great for some of the goals, and overall defending was quite poor. But when you have to only defend and you don't have an outlet, you're right. Your manager set you up poorly, and you guys couldn't hold it. You guys couldn't hold it down once you got down to 10 men. But Manchester United, once they went down to 10 men, did he make any substitutions to change the game, to bring in more attackers, to make it more positive? Because that was his opportunity to fix it.
He did not.
Even then, he made a mistake. So I don't fault him as much for taking off the 2 defenders because Palmer got injured. But when you went down to 10 men again, how did he then try to counter that? He didn't.
But that's what. But here's the thing. Here's why I fault him for everything from the jump. This is Manchester United. This is a team that has won 8 games in 31 games until we played them. And it's now 9 in 32.
By the way, we asked the question, is Pep a coward, is Arteta a coward? Maresca was the biggest coward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He has the
biggest
whole smoke.
coward of the whole weekend.
No.
Let me tell you something.
No,
I have to say this. You came into the game knowing Cole Palmer has fitness issues. Robert Sanchez gets sent off. The most obvious substitution to make is take Cole Palmer out, put in Jorgensen, and that's it. Because Joao Pedro is a false 9 anyway, so you'll end up playing essentially a 4-5, a 4-5-0 or a 4-4-1 or whatever you call it. You've got Estevao and Pedro Neto as 2 outlets, but instead he removed all outlets. He kept no one on the pitch. We've all been watching football for a long time. I have never ever seen a guy as soon as a red card is happened, 3 substitutions. 3 substitutions. And I've never seen this before in my life. All of us have seen players get sent off. I have never ever seen someone make 3 subs after a red card. I'm sorry, it's inexcusable.
It
And
is
Javon touched
inexcusable.
on it. Javon touched on it. It's Manchester United. It's a team that lost to Grimsby. This ain't like Man United from 15 years ago with Tevez and Berbatov and Ronaldo and shit. This is a
Husam,
shit Man United
let's
side
be
who
fair.
have no confidence.
Let's be fair though. He made the substitution for Cole Palmer. What was it? 10 minutes after the red card, and that was when they scored their second goal. Like 20 minutes later than that.
But here's the thing: the biggest issue with those substitutions is not that he made those. Yes, it is that he made those subs, but the time frame. When you make a sub when you're 10 man down, you have to give those players to settle and readjust. It's Manchester United. You know what every United fan tells me? We always start good, but after 15 minutes, somehow, somewhere we drop off. It's 5 minutes. I hear it if it's at the 75th minute. I hear those subs, but it's 5 minutes into the game. There's no excuse to make so much sub so quickly. Yes, if you wanted to start the game with more height, you sub a defender for a defender. You do a like for like sub, if that's the case. But you have to leave attacking outlets there to stretch the game, because guess what? You know what the negative effect of that is? Later on in the second half, when we were trying to get the equalizer, you saw players like Reece James, João Pedro. Yes, it's affecting them because you can see that they're tired. You can see the fatigue, because when you don't have an out ball, you have to constantly defend. When you have an out ball, you can play the ball out to the out ball, and they can hold up the play to bring players up the pitch to relieve pressure off the defense. We had none of that.
People are blaming Chalobah for sliding in. Do you think it's partially his fault for the sending off?
Yes. Because let's say he steps in. Let's say he steps in and the ball gets in behind. You shouldn't have stepped in or sliding. But it's also on Sanchez. It's 5 minutes into the game. How much time after I go back to the time frame? You let him score if that's the case. And no one would blame Sanchez if Sanchez comes out and you win around and the attacker win around him. Because guess what? Your defense, it's on your defense for putting you in that position. But you don't clear out the player. It is 5 minutes into the game. Again, there's no excuses for the defense, for Sanchez decision making, and more so for me on Maresca.
Why didn't Tosin start?
I have no idea. Again, on Maresca.
And then my final thing is Manchester United any good? Because even when you went down to 10 men, yes, they scored, but they still looked so poor, man.
Manchester United are shitbag scrubs, the scrubs of the top 6. I hate that club with every fiber of my being. They're horrible. But we made them look good. And you know what the worst part is? They didn't create anything from open play. Both came from set pieces.
No, it came from Reece James, made a mistake.
Igal, ask yourself the question, why is there a show called Red Pill, Blue Pill without a United rep?
Why is that?
Because they're shit! That's why! Because they're shit! That's why I said
I was thinking
what did I say when I first started speaking, Igal? I said the biggest coward this weekend was Enzo Maresca. I stand on business. I said it. I didn't lie, bro. I said it.
I hear it.
Maybe he's not a coward. Maybe he's just incompetent.
Same thing.
So cowardice, honestly.
Listen, because
he's so cowardly.
There's I don't care what anyone says. There's no way you can defend his decision making. It is just what it is, bro. It was horrendous. It was horrible. 5 minutes into the game, and you throw in the towel.
Facts.
It's United who can't create to save their lives. Who have Bruno Fernandes as a DM? What the hell are you telling me?
Yeah, brother. What about this? What do you think about your fans who are saying, "Oh, well, we're only 2 points behind Arsenal and Tottenham"?
Nah, that's total bullshit.
Don't you be talking fans. Don't you be talking fans all of a sudden.
Hey, 90% of the time when you guys are speaking about fans.
Listen. I hear what they're saying, but I cannot register it, because unless our performances change, unless Maresca starts making the right decisions, unless some of these players that I deem not up to par start performing at a high level and we get consistency on our performance, don't tell me where we are on the table. Leave it. I beg. I know it. Let's focus on trying to beat Benfica and win a couple cup games and try to change the mood and the consistency. Love it. Love it. I said we do a title charge this season. If he continues, love it. Love it, bad man. Leave that alone. You understand? You get what I'm saying? That is it. I need consistency.
Why do you sound like you're tired of this season already, brother?
We're only 5 games in. We're 5 games in.
Guys, listen to the way Javon is speaking. He's tired already of the season. Why are you tired of it?
They're not in the Club World Cup.
Because
Ooh,
when you and I'm going to ignore that.
Any dig Igal can take at the Club World Cup, he takes it.
Listen,
any dig he can take, he just
I rate the trophy.
After that Fulham, from a Chelsea perspective, after that Fulham game,
you might get there one day, Gal.
Yeah, you have to win the Champions League to get there. That will never happen. Anyways, so after that Fulham win, when you look at our team, when you look at the run we've been on, we've seen our team play better. We've seen our team. We saw what we saw in the Club World Cup. That was not a joke. We saw what we did against Real Betis in the second half. We know that there's quality there. We know that if we play to our best strengths, there's quality. Even Robert Sanchez can pull out a performance. The issue is consistency over time. That's the equation. Can you perform like that consistently? And right now, the answer is no. Can we make a run in the cup? Yes.
You should have bought a goal. How you've not bought a goalie, I do not know.
Yeah.
That is in January, the first thing he needs to do. No, if I was Maresca, I know what I'd do. I'd knock on City's door and go, "You've got James Trafford sat on the bench, mate."
No one wants James Trafford, bro.
I remember in the summer when Chelsea were linked to Kelleher, some of the Chelsea fans were turning their nose up like, I don't want Kelleher. He's not good enough. You employ Sanchez, mate. You employ Sanchez.
They could have got Mike Mignon.
However, I will say, though, I do think Sanchez being scapegoated on this game specifically. I think he's a shit keeper. I agree with any Chelsea fan who says
he got the red card, Sam. That's why.
But on this game, I'm sorry, Maresca lost them the game. I'm sorry, Maresca.
No, I agree. Because think about it. It's a contact sport. One mistime tackle and it's a red card at any given moment. So anyone can get a red card. And again, the time it happened, you still had 85 minutes to rectify. You still had 85 minutes to try and structure the team where you can at least get a draw. You understand? On the goalkeeping situation, we're back in for Mike Mignon. We're trying to get him for free in January. We'll see how that goes. We as Chelsea fan doesn't necessarily talk about replacing the keeper because we've had multiple briefings from the club stating that they're not in the goalkeeping market until last weekend, where apparently these links to Mike Mignon are real and they're back in again. At the end of the day,
you probably need a free. You probably need a free because you've got a lot. You'll have to pay a big fine very soon.
Correct. So the only good thing is that I think we're squared away with UEFA.
Let me ask you one small question, Javon, before you have to go. Where do Chelsea go from here, honestly? Because when I said you sound tired, you do sound tired, but everything has
straight
a solution.
To jail, directly to jail. Do not.
honestly, look, let me answer this one because look, I know you sound tired, but everything has a solution. And to be fair, let's be honest, not everything is as bad as it seems, right?
It isn't.
Yeah. So how do you get out of this mess? Tell me.
Yeah. So firstly, I react like that because it's United. I have a personal agenda against them. These scrubs need to die.
Don't worry, all three of us agree with you. We all hate them.
So, looking at a bigger perspective, much like Egal says, it's only September. Holy horse, it's only September. But in order for us to get our season back on track, we have to beat Brighton. We have to put in a performance against Benfica. Because this is our first time back in Champions League and we lost against Bayern. And I think we did play well against Bayern. It's just 3 defensive mistakes cost us that game. Against Benfica, we need to win. We win against a Benfica, first win in Europe, the mood changes. We beat Bayern. Because I'm expecting a win today because we play Lincoln Town today. So it could turn into this easily. Win against Lincoln Town, win against Brighton, win against Benfica, and we go into that Liverpool game feeling very different, looking very different. So if we get a draw against Liverpool, maybe even a win. Because, listen, I beat Benfica convincingly. I'm back on my delusional train. Say what you will. That's just
a win? I win.
Are we
You're gonna beat us. Are you sure about that?
Again, I said a draw, maybe I win. We're playing at home. We're playing at
maybe
I've got
I win.
I've got 74 reasons why you won't win.
And that's fine. And that's fine.
Criminal on criminal violence. Let's go.
Listen-
Hey, whoa! I'm actually innocent until proven guilty. They went in and admitted their guilt.
No
Massive difference.
Sometimes
No,
corruption is sweet. Anyways, more.
No one buys that, brother.
They went to the police captain and went, "I'm guilty, Your Honor. Put me in."
And
So you're like, "Yeah, we're not guilty."
They actually snitched on their own selves, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
can't help that one.
No, but for real, where do we go from here? Just wins. It's football. You gotta get wins. You get wins. People forget the past, and it's only September. If we can finish up September with a couple wins, finish October with maybe a couple. Actually, let me pull up the fixture now. Let me give you an actual answer and not just pull it up. So in October we have Liverpool.
You got next Brighton, Benfica, and Liverpool.
Yes.
That's your next 3 games.
So,
So just like from a now perspective, before we go all out crazy, just
I'm
like
not gonna lie. Take a
right
pause on
now.
that. Take a pause on that. If Cole Palmer's injury is bad and you miss extended period, you could be forgetting about some of these things that you're talking about, because I'm hearing his groin injury could be serious.
that's fine. We have Estevao that can play at number 10. We have Neto can play after right. And Garnacho or Gittins, one of them are just
Until a
gonna
player
have
gets
to play.
sent off and then he gets substituted.
Egal, Chelsea have got options.
We have
That's
basically
the one
we have
team who have
and
got
Lav-
options.
Lavia is back. Lavia is back.
I acknowledge they have options, but it doesn't replace your talisman.
No, I get that, but it still doesn't change. It still doesn't change the expectations of the club.
It does.
We're not Spurs, but
No,
we're not this shit version of Manchester United.
I understand you feel like you have squad depth, but you don't replace your talisman that easily.
I understand that, but
main-
the point still remains. We still have our expectations to win the next 2 games. That's not going to change because Cole Palmer is injured.
Of course,
And then-
but you're going to see you're not going to see as much creativity. You're not going to see as much finishing. I think it's going to be a situation where Chelsea are going to have to find a way to play without him and reinvent themselves slightly. Who's going to be your main man? Joao Pedro, right?
It could be a combination of Joao Pedro Neto and Estevao. So again, the expectation doesn't change. You even in your answer you just gave, you're supporting my point. The expectation doesn't change. You just have to reconfigure it. You have to reconfigure it.
I don't trust Estevao. He's very young. And I don't trust Neto because he's never shown that he has consistent end product.
Hey,
Sorry, I need to clear. What are the expectations?
The expectation is to from a lot of the fans. So I'll give you the 2 honest answers. From a lot of the fans is a title challenge, not to win the title, but to stay up there as long as possible until we fall off. That's the expectation from the board. Pardon?
How many points do you have right now?
Let me pull it up. I have it in front of me. We are on Chelsea. We are on 8 points. We are on 8 points. All right. So we are on. Again, it's only September. Only 5 games gone. I'm saying 3 points or 3 wins going into Liverpool. We're playing at home. Minimum a draw is acceptable. A win against Forest, and then we see where we stand then. But for Chelsea to answer your question honestly, 3 wins from the next 3 games.
Against Liverpool, I doubt it.
Liverpool is not in our next 3 games.
Is it not? In the
Lincoln
league?
City today. Oh, in the league? Oh, so we're strictly to the league. So
Strictly in the league, Brighton, Liverpool.
No one's counting.
So
Lincoln.
if it's strictly in the league, 3 wins on a draw.
Egal doesn't count League Cup. The League Cup's beneath Egal, where he won't touch the League.
No, because I expect him to beat Lincoln City. Let's be honest. I expect us to beat Port Vale. I don't know who you guys are playing this week, but I expect you guys to
We
beat
played
those.
Southampton today.
I expect you to
Be careful.
All right, so
We need to put the fries in the back.
so for the league, three
You got beat
wins
by
on a
Plymouth.
for the league, 3 wins on our draw. The draw is against Liverpool. We beat Brighton. We should be beating Brighton. We should be beating Nottingham Forest, and it should be beating Sunderland.
Martin, I'll
If
be
a-
honest with you, and you won't like this.
Well,
The Carabao Cup is beneath Liverpool right now.
no cups beneath anyone.
No,
It is-
I'll take a Carabao Cup and I'll take a FA Cup and I'll be
No
happy.
cup
I'll be
is
happy
winning
with
for
that.
anyone. And Husam,
Trophies,
coming
bro.
from you, that shocks me because you were the guy who was like, and look, I know
So
you know
ugly,
exactly
huh?
what I'm about to say, and you
No,
can,
no,
I'll give you,
I don't
I'll
wanna
give
do
you
this.
30 seconds to backtrack. I'll give you 30
No,
seconds
no,
to
no,
backtrack.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Anyway,
Husam, your wording.
Devon,
Husam, your
Devon, I
wording.
appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much for joining us. The link to the Final Whistle podcast is in the description, so go give him a subscribe. Thank you so much,
Man.
Devon. You know, good
What's up?
Big up.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having me,
hopping on.
guys. Peace.
Appreciate you. Guys, let's get the likes up. I'm gonna grab these supers and I'm gonna move on, talk about LFC, ladies and gentlemen.
What
I'm
did
sure
you do?
Igal is gonna have a dissertation about added time on this one. Anyway, so
I've got
like-
a dissertation on Florian Wirtz. Carry on.
oh, here we go.
Let's see.
Do you guys all learn at the same teacher or something? Anyway, hit the like button, guys. Let's get to 300 likes, 400 likes ASAP, please. Yeah, big up to all of you guys. Anyway, let me grab these supers, guys. Big up to Sean Newerlands, who says Rice poor start to the season is going under the radar. Think Rice has been poor this season again?
Yeah, Rice hasn't had his amazing performances, but I don't think the midfield has been sorted yet. Once it's sorted, you're going to see good performances from everybody.
Declan
Man
Rice
City
looking
celebrated
big.
a draw against Arsenal at the Etihad, is what Farhan is saying.
Yeah, it feels
No,
like a loss.
We
draw
celebrate
feels
the goal. We celebrate
draw-
the goal, not the draw.
The draw feels like a loss. The draw feels like a loss.
Guarantee you will lose if you play to not lose, is what Farhan is saying.
I agree.
Yeah, here's the thing. Liverpool and City play to win. We don't play to not lose. Big up to Brian, who says the discussion is nonsense. Pep had a plan to concede possession and break. He has learned how to manage the game from Brighton. Analysis these days are shit. Yeah, but here's the thing. We're just addressing why Arsenal did not beat a bad Manchester City side at home. Guys, we can't before the game say City. We can't before the game say City is shit. I feel confident, blah blah blah. And then when the result doesn't go your way, you don't allow us to tell you why it doesn't go your way. That's kind of what we do on YouTube. Brother, I am not talking about one game, is what Farhan saying. Yeah, he's referring to probably Arteta's tenure as an Arsenal manager, and he's saying about that concept.
That's what I was talking about earlier. I wasn't just concentrating on the one game. I'm talking his whole tenure.
Big up to H, who says Igal, Arteta is holding Arsenal back.
One second. Don't take that off. Is that the same H? I needed to screenshot that. Okay.
Big up to Brian Favrier again. During City's league wins, did they beat Liverpool at Anfield? So I was expected for Arsenal to do so. Last time we challenged City, it went to the end. Once again, no one will expect you to beat Liverpool at Anfield. No one will expect you to beat City at the Etihad. We expect you to beat Liverpool at the Emirates and City at the Emirates. That's the expectation. And by the way, that's been the equation to win a league title for the last 100 years. You
And
draw
guess
away
what?
your
It didn't
rivals.
work. It didn't work.
You
the last
draw
3
away
years.
your fighter rivals and you beat them at home. Last
Husam.
season, Arsenal didn't beat us at home.
Husam, the season before that, we beat both of you at our house, and we drew against both of you at your house, and we still didn't win the league. Has nothing to do with that. The reality is, we are picking and choosing when Arsenal don't do something well. That hey, this is the problem. When Arsenal do that well, you find another thing to say this is the problem. The reality is
No. Igal. The difference says when City and Liverpool won the league, we beaten everyone else.
You never beat us at your ground for the last.
No, I'm
2
not
years.
talking about Igal. I'm not talking right. Forget the Arsenal part. But it's what I was saying earlier. You lost to Aston Villa at home. City and Liverpool didn't do that when they needed to do that. There's the difference.
Okay, you guys both went to the final day of the season before. At that point, when somebody goes to the final day of the season, what is that? That's just two teams going toe-to-toe and one team being slightly better. That year when we went toe-to-toe to you until the end of the season, I think it's just fair play. You're better than us. As for the year prior, we weren't ready. Last season, once again, because it's the third time, frustration. And right now, because it's 5 games into the season and we dropped points in 2 games, look at how high the level has risen. You can't drop a single point or else it's chaos. And I think at this point, we've gone to a level where no matter what happens, we go into semantics and hysteria off the back of every result. Sometimes you just get it wrong and you try to fix it the next game. And if you don't, season over.
Okay, but Igal, surely you agree our job on YouTube is to come here and tell people why we think something didn't go right.
I know, but I think we've done that, but we keep going over semantics that have nothing to do with the main point.
Because Igal, nothing's changing with you. That's what we're saying.
We have changed. You just choose to not see the changes. We have changed. It's just in the situation that we found ourselves in that game, Arteta went with the wrong lineup. And I don't think Arteta goes into every game with the wrong lineup. There's been other issues in the past. It's not always, Arteta's selection is the problem. Was Arteta's selection the problem when we you know what, forget it. We just keep going back and forth over the same thing.
Yeah, خلاص. Let's just put the fries in the bag on this one. Rice celebration at Old Trafford, Martinelli celebration versus City. I don't think there's number one piece of evidence for bad mentality, but it's objectively poor mentality. So you're saying it's not bad mentality, it's poor mentality, basically.
When was Rice? You know what? I'll give them that one. We should be picking the ball up, but there's other players going to pick up the ball and go and grab it and put it back at the halfway mark. It's not just the goal scorer always. Mo Salah,
Okay.
I seen Mo Salah celebrate at the Emirates getting an equalizer in the 80th minute.
At the Emirates. It's not the same as at Anfield.
But Rice scoring at Old Trafford he said he put Old Trafford. Did you not read the super chat?
You're comparing Old Trafford to
Did you not read the super chat?
Anfield.
No. Did you read the super chat or am I?
But you were in a title race and you needed to win.
Stop
Old
it,
Trafford or not, bro? Old Trafford.
Celebration.
Oh, yeah. I know what the one you're talking about. That was from last season. That was when you were trying to catch up to us. Of course, people will criticize Rice for celebrating. He should have grabbed the ball. It's true. It's not the time to celebrate. Anyway, regardless.
Celebration, please.
It's time to talk about the biggest club in England, ladies and gentlemen. We're 15 likes away from 300 likes. Let's get there. Every single one of you, slap the like button now and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, guys, please, I need your help now more than ever. Close the live chat, hit the like button. Remember, we're going to come back for the Southampton game tonight as well. So, guys, Liverpool against Everton. Everyone knows my opinions already, so I'm going to let you guys go first. Igal, I'll let you start us off for the Liverpool section. Talk to me, brother. What do you want to say? And what's my spies who watch Igal Talks Football? Make sure guys go subscribe to Mancunian Way.
Do you have spies everywhere?
Bro, don't ever disrespect my spies. Big up my spies.
No, hang on a minute. You have spies in spaces at 3 a.m. in the morning when I'm doing them. You've got spies in my...
I've got spies everywhere, man. I've got eyes in the sky, man. I've got eyes in the sky.
You're like CIA, you.
What's this dissertation about extra time that I heard?
All right. So the main point is, did you watch the Manchester United Chelsea game? I'm pretty sure you did because you did a watch along. There was how much extra time was there in that game compared to?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they gave like 7 to 8 minutes for that game.
Yeah.
In our game for City, they gave 7 to 8 minutes. In majority of these games, there's usually 7 to 8 or 6 minutes minimum. Usually, you see extra time. Liverpool had one of the lowest extra times this season, with 3 minutes. In a game where there was 4 substitutions plus a couple of yellow cards, and there was also a lot of time wasted in that time. So I'm just wondering, how is it that there's only 3 minutes extra time given? And the main question everyone's asking is, if the game was 0-0 or 1-1 and Liverpool were chasing the game, would they have been also being given this 3 minutes? Because in the games that they were chasing the games, they were given 11, 8, 10, 9, however many minutes that they were given. So yeah, the wider question being asked is, how are they coming up with these times? And isn't it convenient that the one game where the opponent is chasing the game against Liverpool and they're not chasing the winner, that they get a quick extra time?
But how much? No, wait, because he just said a lie. How much added time was given Liverpool against Arsenal at the Emirates when we weren't the one that needed the winner?
Was it 8 minutes or 6 minutes? I don't know.
Wow. So Arsenal came to the Emirates, and it's not a coincidence that we did not need a winner. You needed a winner, and you got given 8 minutes. So now what?
What time did you score your goal?
83rd
Oh, we're
minute.
doing this. Are we really going to do this tinfoil hat?
83rd minute.
What time
Are we doing this?
When do they calculate the extra time? Around that time, no?
No, they calculate extra time in the 89th minute. That's when the guy puts up the ball.
Igal, I've got some magic beans if you want to buy them.
Conspiracy have failed immediately.
Yeah, what are we doing here? Why are we doing conspiracy theories on time?
Come on. On
Hey,
extra
we
time,
just
Igal,
have to ask-
that's football.
We're allowed to ask questions. So let's ask those questions.
Okay, you're allowed to ask questions, but don't build an agenda based off of a false
That's
narrative.
not a question. That's
Liverpool were 1-0 up
theory.
against Arsenal. You needed an equalizer and they gave you 8 minutes.
I got professional.
I'll give you an objective answer. The reason why
Athletes.
Liverpool Everton, and this is a genuine objective answer to everyone in the chat and to you guys as well. And I think everyone in the chat will agree with me, regardless who you support. The reason why there was 3 minutes added time in the Everton game is not because Liverpool were ahead, because Liverpool were ahead of Arsenal and you got 8 minutes. The reason why there was 3 minutes given in that time is because there was no bro. If the guy gave 1 minute extra time, he would have been. Nothing happened. There was no VAR controversies. There was no red cards. There was no delay of game. It was just such a boring second half anyway. Nothing really happened.
What minute did Everton score?
Was
50th minute with zero VAR controversies. Goal was given immediately.
Right. So Everton had 40 minutes to do something?
Yeah.
And you're talking about injury time. Come on. If they'd have scored in the 91st minute and the ref blows up 30 seconds later, I hear it. Okay, I'll take that. But not when you've got 40 minutes to sort something out.
Hey, all I gotta say is we're keeping an eye on.
You're grasping. You're
keeping an eye on extra time, Igal. Come on, man. Is that how low the Arsenal fan base have sunk? We're looking at extra time now.
About fan bases again. There you go.
Igal, you scored your thing in the 93rd minute. You didn't hear me going, "Oh my god, it's football." That's the way it is.
Yeah, but 3 minutes extra time is way less than the average.
Yeah, but geez, what it is. Extra time's extra time. Players should be told and managers should be told, expect to play 100 minutes now.
Yeah, and they played 93 exactly almost.
Yeah, because nothing happened in the second half.
There was
a boring game.
There was
literally nothing in the second half.
I'm going to be honest. For a derby, it was quite.
It was a boring game. That's why 3 minutes was added.
Hey, and the next thing is, do you think McAllister or Ryan Gravenberch, who's the better midfielder for Liverpool?
Oh, we're doing this debate again. Are we doing this debate again?
Because I'm seeing Liverpool fans saying Ryan Gravenberch best midfielder in the league, best midfielder at Liverpool, best young midfielder in the world.
He's not the best midfielder in the league. No, he's not.
Bro, forget about the league. Some of them are saying the world.
Bro, on form right now, Ryan Gravenberch is the best DM in the league. We all know Rodri is the best DM.
On form, yeah. I would agree with that. There's a difference between on form and he's the best in the world. Full stop.
No. Right now, on form, Ryan Gravenberch has been the best DM.
Yeah, I agree. But we all know Rodri is the best CDM when he gets.
Yeah, of course. No one will argue with you. This community already praises Rodri. And by the way, when Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, I made a video titled "Rodri deserves the Ballon d'Or." So I'm very pro Rodri. But to be honest with you, genuinely in this, as things stand on form, okay, let's say we were doing a team of the season. If we were doing a team of the season, Gravenberch would be the DM. Put it this way, that's basically what I'm saying, because he's been on smoke so far this season. I think McAllister is just not fit. This is the first summer he's had off. He's recovering from a knock. I expect him to play better, of course, but he's just been not fit, and he's regaining his fitness. So he still isn't even fit. He still isn't even performing at the level that I expect of him or anything, or the chat expects of him, or anyone expects of him. He isn't performing at the level expected or required, but I think that will come with time. We just have to be a little bit patient.
The one thing I'll say on Liverpool, Sam, is, and yeah, you are winning. See, for me, it's 50-50, and you'll know what I mean when I say this. You can look at it in a view of we're playing bad and winning, wait till we get going. And then there's the other side of the coin of it'll take one loss for us to fall like an house of cards. So there's two ways you can look at it, if you understand. The reason, to me, it depends on your outlook and the way you want to look at it. Liverpool right now, because City were very similar. If you go back to the start of last season, City were getting wins, but we weren't convincing in the wins. If you remember, we didn't lose a game till November. And then we got the defeat at Bournemouth and we just fell apart. And then there's the other side of the coin where you can win scam wins, not play well. That's mentality, and you go right, and we go on again. Wait till we get going. Wait till Bert's. Wait till Isaac get going. So for me, it just depends on your outlook and the way you want to look at it moving forward. I think the big test for Liverpool is when they do drop points, is how they then come back from that. So if they get a draw or they get a loss, how do they come back? Do they come on? And that will tell me if Liverpool are going to run away with this league.
We might
So
draw or
Liverpool
lose
lose
the next 2 games. Palace away and
Yeah,
Chelsea
that's what I
away.
mean. But that's what I mean, Husam. So then you should
No one,
reaction.
are we expecting Liverpool to go 38 wins? Of course not.
No, and nobody should think like that. Anyone thinking
Nobody.
38 or 38 is living in dream world.
Husam,
That is
By the way,
Liverpool
Crystal
games.
Palace are undefeated since April. People act
Yeah.
like going to Palace away is like this easy thing. Oliver Glasner has not lost a game of football since April. The only 2 undefeated sides in the entirety of the English football are Liverpool and Palace right now. Literally.
thank you.
And the thing is with Palace, you know your record at Selhurst Park at times.
Yeah.
Everyone has that team and that ground where they hate going to. It just
Yeah.
doesn't suit. Don't like
Yeah.
it. Ours is Tottenham and
Something-
others.
I just look at Liverpool and I say to myself, they're not lucky. They create their own luck to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And,
No,
and
not saying the luck.
Personal
Saying the
growth
luck.
from you. Well done.
Yeah,
Personal
I'm not.
growth.
I've never said the luck. I rate Liverpool. I think Liverpool are a fantastic team. My thing is, Liverpool are in a position where they can run away with it. Absolutely run away with it. But that decision will come when they get that first defeat on their mentality. How do they come back from that?
You know something. The actual thing about Liverpool is they win that game, they move on, they look ahead to the next game. They think they can win every game right now. They're in a mode. They're in a role. Let's see if they do face a defeat or if anyone can try to figure them out. Because right now, not a lot of teams have been able to figure them out to give them trouble. I know Burnley slowed them down for 90-something minutes. Well, Arne Slot's just going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You have to be able to weather the storm. And let's see if Crystal Palace can weather the storm because they have really good defense. They're going to try to probably do what Burnley do. And maybe they do have more threat in Mateta. I don't think Liverpool are going to drop points to anybody right now, the way that they're playing. But if they can drop points to somebody, Palace probably feeling themselves. Maybe they can do it.
Let me ask you both a question genuinely, because you both have had teams like this. Igal with the Invincibles and Martin.
I'm gonna go on 2 minutes, just letting you know.
Yeah, so I'll let you answer this question first. So okay, first before you go, Igal 94th minute LFC was through on goal, laughing my ass out. This is true, by the way. The referee literally blew the whistle when Isak was about to run through on goal. But anyway, that's beside the point. Thank you so much, Omar Habibi, for the super chat. But we have debunked Igal's conspiracy. I'll ask you both a question. Let Igal answer first.
It's the people. It's the people.
It was your conspiracy. I've never heard anyone say that.
No, Husam, you asked me a question about what people are saying, and then you make it pointed out as if I'm the one only saying it. That's not true.
Well, who said it? Who said it?
People are saying, forget people, Habibi. We want what Igal thinks. But anyway, regardless, forget all this.
Igal, look, you're spending too much time on Twitter.
And Martin have watched.
I'm monitoring the situation.
Guys, can I ask the question because you have to go, Igal. So you have watched an Invincible side, and Martin has watched a Centurion side. There was a Thierry Henry infamous interview where he says, Day 72 of 1,461 of your world champs, Chelsea. Shut your ass up, you're on 8 points. Anyway, Henry came out and said people were defeated in the tunnel. Do you think it's the same for this Liverpool side right now, Igal? Like, do you think the opponent is looking at Liverpool and shitting the bed, basically?
Do you have fear factor? Yes. Do I think everyone's scared of you? Probably. I don't think so. I don't think every team is scared of you. I think they see Mo Salah, they see Van Dijk, and they're like, wow, some people can be starstruck by players. So you do have players that can get people starstruck. I don't think you could say that about most other teams. The only team you could probably say that about is you right now, to be fair, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, you have to earn it. Once you win, you have that level of aura around you. And I guess Liverpool do have that. Fair play. Burnley, Sunderland, whoever it is, they do feel that way sometimes. But I'll tell you this, the exact opposite can also happen. Look at Manchester United. They turn up to Man United. They're like, we can beat these guys, even though they're called Man United. So, So with greatness comes great responsibility, right? Let's see if you can.
Yes, of course. But I think I'm looking at this like situation, bro, and I smell the fear in the opponents before the game.
I do too sometimes. But bro, I gotta go.
Big up, big up.
Only time I really see that is when we're playing teams against in Europe, or we're playing teams that just newly got promoted. I don't really see that too often from like everybody. But yeah, I'm gonna go. You have a good one.
Big up, big up. Martin, what's your dissertation on Verts?
I was only joking with him. Like I said, I was only winding you up.
You know, Vader gave a whole war speech on Florian Wirtz yesterday. We had a whole fight.
Listen, don't get me wrong. You know, I hold the same energy. I had it with Grealish. I had it with all my players. Anyone judging any player after 5-6 games, I'm seeing it with Tijani Reinders now with some of me in our own fan base, not my fan base, our own fan base. You know, people are questioning Tijani Reinders. You're questioning a player after 5 games. Get in the bin. That is just seriously hyperbole, overreaction. No got a clue. It is what it is. I think Wirtz would have struggled no matter which team he goes in, if I'm honest with you. You know, and I don't even buy into the price tag, because players don't put the price tag on themselves. The teams do. So I never bought into the Grealish hype, because it wasn't Jack Grealish's fault City paid 100 million. That was City's fault. Wasn't Wirtz's fault, 100 and whatever it was, 15, 130, whatever you want to call it, with add-ons and euros, etc. So I'm seeing too many people, like people are converting price tags into euros to pounds, and some include add-ons, some don't. It's like, what are we doing here? Why
I
are
asked
you
Hamza,
so
I'm like, Hamza, how much
desperate?
does Wirtz cost? Hamza was like 150
It gives
million.
it in euros. It gives it in euros.
Yeah, and then I
Because
asked
it
Hamza,
suits
okay,
the-
so how much did Reinders cost?
Yeah.
He's like 40 million pounds. I'm like, bro, Hamza,
Yeah,
you're such a
exactly.
shit.
One's pounds, one's euros, depending on who you want to talk to. Does it matter? No one's knocking on my door or your door and saying, can we have a handout towards it, please? I don't get why everyone gets so hyped over.
By the way,
price
it's the same as
tags,
Chelsea fans who are
wages.
telling us we're gonna flip this player and flip that player. Okay, great.
Yeah.
What does that put money in your pocket or Todd
No,
Bowley's pocket?
When did we stop being football fans and become accountants?
I have no idea.
I'm not being
I have
funny.
never
I don't
stopped
do
being a
YouTube
football
on an
fan.
accountants. I do a little bit of studying on things and research for different things to understand the meaning of how my club runs things and how
So
we
like
do
when you get
things.
asked a question or something.
Yeah. You know, I want to learn, but I don't learn about Liverpool's finances and Arsenal's finances. And Jesus, I've got a life. I like to get out and touch a bit of grass. I don't sit my life in a book and going, what am I doing here? Get a life, get a hobby, get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend, do something. Sorry, but it's people are getting too deep into this situation. I think Wirtz will be fine. It may take Wirtz a season, the same way it took Rodri, the same way it may take Reinders, the same way it took a lot of players. It is what it is. Isaac, you know, for me, Isaac's nowhere near Haaland. That's my personal preference. That's my opinion.
Don't
I think
say nowhere near. Nowhere
near.
near is like Hoyland, you know? Nowhere near is like Hoyland, you know, someone like that.
I know,
Nunes.
for me, I think Haaland's on a planet on his own right now. I think he's on a
I
planet
think
on his
Haaland
own.
is the best striker in the world, but I think Haaland is the best striker in the world, but you could say Isak is in the top 5. And if someone is in the top 5 in his position in the planet, you can't say he's nowhere near. Like he's still at least
top 5. But for me, I think there's a gap
Yeah.
between 1 and 3. A massive gap between 1 and 3. I've got Mbappe the closest I can get to Haaland. But again, that will come down to a preference on what you want from a striker. Because I'm seeing a growth in Haaland right now, which is why I like our system. But regarding Liverpool, can Liverpool, do they have fear factor? Of course they do. I think the fear is more amongst fan bases.
Yeah.
I think there will be some teams, like what I did like about Sunday is I think Pep will have a game plan to go to Anfield with now.
Yeah.
Which is something I like and something that people have wanted and asked for. I think what you've got to do is, instead of being scared of the problem, try and solve the problem. And if they beat you, they beat you. but have a go at trying to solve the problem. If you go in, it happened with United in the 90s and the 2000s. People went in the tunnel at the Swamp and they got scared and they were done. It happened at the Etihad for many years. Teams used to come and they were scared and they were done. But Liverpool still came to. I think there's fear factor with Liverpool, City, and Arsenal amongst most teams still. The question is the fear factor between each other that there once was? I think Burnley will always fear
both. Clearly.
Yeah, I think Burnley will always have a fear factor of going to Anfield, the Emirates, or the Etihad.
Yeah, of course.
I think Sunderland will always have that fear factor. What you've got to get back is, will Arsenal and Liverpool have a little bit of fear factor going to the Etihad? Will City have
a fear factor? Will Chelsea have a fear factor? You know, these clubs, will Aston Villa have a fear factor?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always knew, listen, City used to go to Anfield and the best they got was a cold. And you know, you had the same. You came to the Etihad, best you had was a cold. Now, Slot sat down, he thought about the process last season. He went, I'm in a title race, City in a bit off it, I'm going to change my tactics a little bit. And you weren't expecting that last season to just give up possession. 33. We've discussed this for a month or two now on this show. Possession-based football is not going to be as predominant as it once was. I think the game is evolving. I think managers are evolving. I think players are evolving. I think there's a time and a place to play a certain way, but I don't think you can go gung-ho every single game. You've got to remember, it's 5 games in. Let's see what Slot does 25 games in. Will he change? Will he not? It depends. Let's see what the points total is. Situations change tactics. I've always said that.
Yeah.
Right now, Liverpool are on an absolute high. They're not playing great, but they're getting wins. And they're doing exactly what me and you both said. The back door's wide open and they're flying forward. There's no surprises here. It's exactly what we both thought they were going to do. The surprise of the season so far is what we're doing. Because we weren't expecting to play this way.
8 points behind in September, but it's too early. It's too early. We wait and see. I am humble.
I don't.
But
I'm not
I will say this, though, Martin. Let me
Right.
tell you something. As humble as I'm being today, and like in general, if next week Arsenal lose away at Newcastle and we win against Crystal Palace, then like let's be serious. At that point in time, I don't even know, like, because it's become 8-point lead in September is actually crazy. Like, let's be honest. That is actually crazy if it does happen. So we wait and see what happens.
What that means is, see, the difference is Arsenal already played you, we haven't.
Yeah.
So,
And
I'm not
first
saying,
game is at the Etihad, actually.
yeah, Arsenal have already dropped one of their games out, where we haven't. And if we can get a point at Anfield, which, by the way, I think we can, the way we played. One thing that showed me on Sunday is, because I said this, I couldn't mention it because I dropped off for a phone call, is if that was Real Madrid away on Sunday, in the first leg of a Champions League, I'm waxing lyrical about that performance.
Yeah.
But because it's in the league, it's a bit different. That's the way you're going to look upon it. If we play like that, what I've got to see is, can we go to these tough places and change our style? And we have. Liverpool, let's see later on, but I've got to give Liverpool all the credit. Slot is doing great. Liverpool are doing great. You know, but like you said, it's 5 games in. We've never looked at a table in September before. Now we are doing.
Yes, we will see what happens. Anyway, regardless, big up to all of you guys. This was an absolutely enjoyable show. Another episode of Red Pill, Blue Pill, ladies and gentlemen. I had so much fun doing this stream. You get me, despite Igal's conspiracies. Make sure you guys are liking on our way out. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. We wanna keep growing this channel together. I'm going to be back later for Southampton. Amen. Kunyan Way is in the description. Igal Talks Football is in the description. Even Gems, the bridge is in the description. And Javon's channel as well. The full-time whistle. The final whistle whistle podcast in the description. So go give them all a subscribe. Love you all. And don't forget to check out our sponsors for today. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen, which now means it's time to get your team's football shirt. But I'm not trying to pay £120 for a football shirt. I'm just saying. But I have found the solution for myself and for you, the lovely audience of the Don Husam channel, with your own coupon promo code. And this is the solution, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to do is just go to okjersey.com. As you guys can see, all the options are there. Of course, I'm a Liverpool fan, you guys already know. And then this is the shirt. Look how amazing it looks. I'm just gonna go pick my size, and then after that I'm gonna choose the Premier League patch. And listen, I'm too old to be putting any player names on the back, so I'm just gonna get it as it is. I'm gonna click add to cart, view cart, and this is the same thing that you guys do on any website. You proceed to checkout, you fill in all your information, and then after that, coupon code Husam. When you click this coupon code, you get a 8% discount. Enjoy shopping, guys.